Good evening, everyone. I really appreciate you being here tonight. We are super excited about what we have to share with you. Um, you know, it's I know a lot of you are already excited, and I think we're going to take that up a notch tonight. Um, I don't want to talk too much tonight. I want to share. I want to give Doug as much time as we can possibly give him tonight. Um, Doug and I had a conversation earlier, and I just got so excited talking to him. I'm like, man, I got to get you on the Zoom, and we kind of made it happen real quick here. But Doug is an incredible leader. He's had tremendous success in the industry, and he is also the co-founder of Avini. Without taking up any more time, Doug, it's all yours.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And as Greg said, my name's Doug Dickey. I am the former VP of Sales for Avini Health and co-founder. I just recently um, moved into the field as a distributor. But one of the coolest things is my story. I'd like to share that with you. About 4 years ago, I was introduced to a product that changed my life. And going back, I'm 56 now, almost 57, but going back 27 years, I worked at a pest control firm and I opened about 15 packages every day and mixed it with water, put it on around people's homes. And I'd done that for about 2 years. I came into work one Monday morning and there was a guy sitting on a little donut cushion and I made a joke about it. And before I could, say much, he said that he had had his colon cut out over the weekend and showed me his colostomy bag. And he said that he had to sit on this little donut. So before I could apologize for the really bad joke, the guy next to him said, "Oh yeah, I last year had my colon cut out or it some surgery." And it went down the line. There was 5 people that had been there 3 years or more that had had some part of their colon cut out. And so, being a person who can see a pattern, apparently that nobody else could see, I quit my job that day. I was only going to the bathroom once a week. And I had all kinds of stomach problems. I felt like I had swallowed a fork yesterday and had to pass it back and forth through my intestinal tract. And so, what was really interesting is the this um, this decision to quit led me to go to the doctor and have my um, colon checked. They ran a scope up there and they found something about the size of a pea, about the end of my finger. And they wanted to poke it. They wanted to do a biopsy on it and tell me what it was. I told them no, I didn't want that to be done. Didn't make sense to poke it and spill it out. And so my plan was to go into nutrition anyway. So I started down that road. I called a friend who was a nutrition expert, got a bunch of books, started reading. And within about 3 months, I'd lost 45 pounds. I felt incredible. I was lifting weights and everything was running just fine. And so I assumed that with the detoxing and everything, my body had fixed itself. And I continued to teach people for the next 4 or 5 years how to get healthy from nutrition. And I considered myself an expert in nutrition at the time. Well, fast forward to about 8 years. I'm sick. I'm in the hospital. My adrenals are shut down. My liver is struggling. I have skin issue on the top of my head. They said would probably take my life if I didn't do something about it. And the thing in my colon had grown to the size of a lemon. And so at that time, I'd done everything. I'd been a vegan before it was popular. I had done everything I could and had taken it seriously about getting better, and yet it continued to grow. So I lost faith at that point that anything I could do was going to work. So I basically quit doing that, decided I was just going to let my life insurance policy work for me, and I had a very big life insurance policy, so that was my plan. I ended up going into skydiving and racing motorcycles and flying helicopters, doing everything I could to sort of speed this process up. Anyways, fast forward another 15 years. And a friend of mine calls and says he has 5 lesions on his prostate. He has these serious issues and asked if I had any suggestions. And I said, I really don't. That's really bad news. And, stage 4. And so, anyways, we hung up. About 3 months later, he calls me, says it's all gone. Says they'd done a biopsy and everything's gone. So I asked what he had used, and he told me a zeolite. Everybody's heard of zeolites. It's a type of mineral made by volcanoes. It grabs heavy metals. My first thought was, no. I mean, heavy metals, this guy eats perfectly. He wouldn't have any heavy metals, didn't work in a mine. He didn't have he didn't smoke. He didn't do anything that would give him heavy metals. And so I said, no, I just don't believe it. I think it was something else you were doing, the 11-day water fast or, any one of the nutritional supplements he was taking. So I ignored it and I just continued on with my life. About 8 months later, a guy I owed a lot of money to, a business partner that I hadn't paid in 6 months, came to me, used the same product, and got his balance back. And I thought to myself, if I sign up with him and try the product, maybe I can go another 6 months without paying him. At the time, I was, heading to cash in on my life insurance policy. So I ended up trying the product, ended up taking it like they did. They had taken 10 drops about every hour of the waking day. And in a drop, there's like 200,000 particles. And so I did that. And 1 week, nothing. 2 weeks, nothing. By the third week, I got a bunch of pimples on the back of my neck. And after a week of getting rid of them, this thing was gone. All new skin. As you guys can tell, I have a fancy haircut where I shave it every day. So I noticed right away when there was new tissue up there, new skin. So that was kind of confusing. I also stopped bleeding rectally, which was an issue, about a half a cup a day. Hemorrhoids went away. This is all in the third week of only changing this. I was still eating the most horrible diet, typically 8 to 10 Cokes a day and a couple candy bars. Because my adrenals had been shut down for so long, all I could eat was sugars for my adrenals to function. And so, anyways, in the fourth week, I came out of depression, which I didn't realize I was depressed until all of a sudden I kind of woke up. And then the fifth week, I was peeing out this awful, awful, nasty smelling urine. Looked like a dark beer. And so that experience led me to start to question everything about myself. Is this in my mind? Is this real? I should have been born in Missouri because I just don't believe anybody. I'm the most skeptical person that you'll ever meet. I barely believe my hands are in front of me right now. And so this, um, I had to test. So I told my son, I'm going to go climb the Grand Canyon from the rim to the river to the rim, which I'd done when I was 21. And if I can make it, then this is real. All this new energy, all this new physical strength, then if this is real, then I'll know. If it's not, well, then, I need some people to carry me out of the canyon. So I did. The next weekend, I drove to the Grand Canyon, did the rim to river 10 and a half hours, an hour faster than when I was 21. So I realized that, okay, this is real. This isn't just in my mind. Now, why is it real? And so I started working down this path of figuring out, okay, I had blood sugar issues. My blood sugar, which I wasn't dealing with, was in the 200s every day, 250. Of course, I'm drinking nothing but sugar. So I had all kinds of health issues, smelled awful. How is it that I could take this hourly and the blood sugar issues go away? They balanced within 3 weeks. How is it a swollen gland underneath my armpit went away within 6 weeks? This thing went away. And so I started studying everything I could about zeolites. And there's hundreds of zeolites out there. Well, there's 49 types, 48 of them will kill you. One of them has been used in diet for 800 years. The government has all these studies and stuff. Everybody knows about zeolites. But there was a biochemist, the guy that had made this, who had invented some chemotherapies. And what he hated about the chemotherapies is that they stay in your body, they're poisons, and so they end up causing the next cancer. They spend, the first 3 days killing off the cancer, and then they end up killing off your nerve cells and your immune cells. So his thought was most of these things are heavy metals or cation type poisons. So he thought if I could take a zeolite, which is typically too big, mechanically make it small enough to fit in the bloodstream, which is less than a micron, and then clean it of all the toxins that are normally in it, since it's nature's filter, that maybe this could remove the chemotherapy. So you would take it along with chemotherapy and grab it after it's done its work and pee it out. And so, since it had been known to be safe, hundreds and hundreds of studies, that's what he did. So he created this whole sort of zeolite category, invented the machinery, invented the processes, and we have 15 clinical studies. And so what he had done special was make it work in the bloodstream. So when I shake this thing, almost down on this bottle, I put about 10 to 15 drops in my mouth. It gets absorbed within about 5 minutes. It goes directly into the bloodstream and the lymphatic system. It goes around and it simply has been prepared to grab heavy metals. So mercury, arsenic, cadmium, chromium, lead, antimony. There's about 30 of them. And so these heavy metals, um, which normally disturb your metabolism, your enzyme processes, your endocrine glands, they get in the way and cause issues. They get sucked into this zeolite cage. And as it's just flowing around your blood and lymphatic system, it's grabbing these toxins. And after 4 to 6 hours, your body's like, all right, that's enough, and kicks the dirt out. So you pee it out. It bypasses your liver and your kidney transformation process. So it's not using up your energy from the body. And so as I started to learn, it was the liver that basically gets the burden. As these metals and toxins are flowing around, either been stored in your fat or your bone or wherever they were, or coming in with the food, which is how we mostly get it, that it starts to burden the liver. The liver has to stop running the body to take this arsenic, which comes with rice and chicken and vegetables, and grab the arsenic, bond it to a protein, and then store it somewhere. The body can't get rid of these heavy metals because they have too high of an electrical charge. And most detoxes are simply cellular detox that puts the toxins back into the bloodstream. And so when I discovered the idea that it's the burden on the liver, what they call body burden, I found that NIH had hundreds of thousands of studies on it. That they had claimed in 1982 that 96% of all the diseases that we go to the hospital for are caused by 5 heavy metals. That blood sugar issues, thyroid issues, pancreas issues, anything in the body, the liver is running it. And when the liver has to stop running it to take care of the metals, it keeps cycling. Then your body gets tired, and then the adrenals take over. And the adrenals then trying to help the liver, and this is the process. And so just about that time, I start sharing the products, thinking, oh my gosh, now I'm going to live. I'm healthy again. I need to start making some money because I owe a ton of money that I didn't think I was going to have to pay. Wasn't going to be able to use this life insurance policy. And so I ended up sharing the products, ended up going diamond in about 6 months, just sharing my testimony 20 times a day. And then the company crashed because the owner had been a criminal in the past, and they finally caught up to him. So the company died. The product, which was being sold through this company, then goes to a new network marketing company. And at that one, I didn't really want to join it, but I needed the product and I needed to continue getting healthier. So 9 months in that company, the owner changes the comp plan, says, hey, you whiny distributors, you don't need to have, money. And that company crashes. So I'm begging the biochemist and his business partner, please, 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 let's start our own company. We don't have to go out of business every 9 months. Let's make a real company with integrity based on the product. And so that's what we did. And Avini Health was born May of 22. And the last 3 years, we've been essentially building debt free from the beginning and also building fully vertical integrated manufacturing. So we can make these products, control it all the way to shipping. We handle our own shipping and then get the products out to people. And and so that's why I was chosen to be VP of sales and not allowed to be a distributor was this was sort of my idea to start the company. And so now we're doing 1,000,001 a month and it's continuing just a solid growth. And we are a company of integrity. We don't buy teams. We don't pay for people to. There's no special deals for anybody. And so what's really really neat about this is the product is secure. We're going to be able to continue sharing the products with people. At one time, this product was sold through another company called Wayora and it was called Natural Cellular Defense. It wasn't called Cell Defender. And that company was moving 90,000 bottles a month in 25 countries. When the two owners decided to fight, collapsed the whole company, and it went away for 500,000 people. It was just absolutely tragic. And so, as Avini's mission statement is to always continue to have these products available. We put the distributors first, and that's one of the special things about Avini. So that's essentially my story. I'd like to answer any questions anybody has.
Yeah, if you have a question, if you want to come off mute, or if you want to ask in the chat, or just raise your hand, we'll bring you in. But I just want to make a point to something you were talking about while we're waiting, for some people to ask some questions. But you know, you made a great point. Like, this product's been around for a while, so it's proven the
2003.
marketplace. There's the demand in the marketplace. We know that people want this product. So based on past performance, so it's not a new product that we're trying to see if people like or if it works, or it's not a guinea pig situation where we're trying to see if it works for people. What excites me about this is we have a tried and true product in a relatively new company. I think you said there was like 12,000 plus distributors, and about 10,000 customers. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, you could
Hardly
put
even
that
known.
in a large city and you wouldn't even know they were there. So you think about how big of an opportunity this is with proven products, with a company and the owners and the leaders with integrity. I mean, to me, if you can't get excited about this thing, you
You're
you really
dead.
aren't going to get excited about too many others. So,
Yeah,
but I don't want to talk anymore. I'd love to hear from anybody that has any questions.
absolutely.